big man! Oh, it's pretty! It's so pretty!
Leo Gibson, Frank Taiyu, did one manage to win the race to become the first to 400 MASL regular season points? Stick around and find out. This is MASL Primetime. What's up, everyone? I'm Alex Bastyovanszky. I hope everyone had just a fantastic holiday season, and after a 10-day break in the schedule over Christmas time, the league resumed play last week. And yes, I know we've talked a lot about it, but how can we not? Kansas City's Leo Gibson and Ontario's Frank Taiyu have been battling it out to see who will become the first player in MASL history to hit 400 regular season points. Both were oh so close to the mark when play kicked off last week, and Gibson got first crack at it when KC hosted Milwaukee last Wednesday. And Leo started this game needing 13 points to hit the magic 400 mark, but his number one concern, obviously, picking up the win. And at first, it wasn't looking too good for KC in this one.
He's got, and he's hoping that this team, here's a run by Milwaukee and a goal. And right off the bat, Milwaukee scores.
Cal Crane putting the wave up, and just 25 seconds later, Ian Bennett makes it a 2-goal advantage. But that's as good as it got for Milwaukee on this day. Rian Marquez cuts the deficit in half. And then, yes, Leo picking up his first point, the assist to Kevin Ellis. And just a minute later, Lucas Sousa notches another for KC. This was all in the first quarter. Second quarter now, John Sosa tattoos that offering, top shelf. Milwaukee trailing 5-3 in the second half when Juan Oliveira taps it in to pull the wave closer. In the fourth, though,
Lucas Sousa plays it forward to Gibson. Gibson pops it forward to Matt Lewis. Shoots goal! Oh my! What a goal!
Gorgeous play. Gibson picks up 3 assists on the day as KC wins big time. 10-4. They did it all again 2 nights later back in Milwaukee. It was the Waves' home opener, and the fans were absolutely pumped for it, and Milwaukee came screaming out of the gate. 2:44 win. Andre Hain, a beauty to make it 1-0. Check out these saves, though, by Nicolau Neto. Not 1, not 2, 3 straight to rob Milwaukee in tight. He can only do so much, though. Juan Oliveira finding daylight. That put the Wave up 3-0 after the first quarter. That's when the Comets woke up, though. Tic-tac-toe passing. Mike Da Silva the finish. 3 minutes later, Rian Marquez will stick with it, and no style points, but they all count the same. 3-3. The Leo Gibson watch, he was kept off the score sheet. 0 points, if you can believe it. Fourth quarter, Ian Bennett, the Hamilton hitman. Little shout out to Hamilton, Ontario there. He ties the game 5-5 with that one, but the Comets would spoil the home opener. Lucas Sousa nabs the game winner. It's Kansas City sweeps the home and home with Milwaukee. They take it by a 6-5 final score. They are undefeated on the season thus far. The St. Louis ambush in Big D to take on the sidekicks. Tony Walls drawing first blood for the visitors here as he will crank that offering, bar down. 1-0 St. Louis. They led 2-0 when Dallas gets one back into second. Luis Morales getting the home side on the board. Second half now, 3-0 ambush at this point when they get called for the handball. And Jamie Lovegrove just re-signed by the sidekicks. He will make no mistake, and it's a 3-2 game. And then Dallas gets a break as the Philippe Silva shot goes in off the ambush defender. Ouch. Finally, in the fourth quarter.
Hit it. Shot. Got it. Go.
Silva the winner, and they were all dancing in Big D as the sidekicks pick up their first win of the campaign, taking down St. Louis 4-3. And there's been a lot of sidekicks news lately to tell you about. They've made some big signings. 4 players recently, including this man, Jamie Lovegrove, who comes over from San Diego but has had 2 previous stints with Dallas, and Cameron Brown also, who's another former sidekick and became the first Dallas player previously to score in 21 consecutive MASL matches. Those signings come on the heels of Ricardino Cavalcante being named interim head coach after the club parted ways with Pablo da Silva due to philosophical differences. And obviously the team has really responded to him as they are red hot right now. Very quickly now, the MASL has partnered with Chill Brands, the international packaged goods company, which will provide CBD products to the league and member teams. Head to chillbrandsgroup.com to find out more about them. Scoring leaders right now, Gibson tied with Ian Bennett, 14 points apiece, followed by Luis Morales and Mohamed Ndiaye of St. Louis, and the King, Frank Tayu, with 9 points to round out your top 5 scores. Hey, welcome back to Primetime, everyone. You know, back in 2018, the Syracuse Silver Knights made the move to Utica and became Utica City FC. And to say that the move paid off would be an understatement. Right from the get-go, the Blues were embraced by the citizens of the Handshake City. They were competitive, they had star players, and going to games at the Adirondack Bank Center was just downright fun. We take a closer look at UCFC today in our Primetime Spotlights. What a glorious day it was. Sunday, December 15th marked the first home game for Utica City since March 8th of 2020. It was an emotional return for the organization, which has been embraced with open arms by the community since relocating from Syracuse in 2018.
They did it right from the beginning with the billboards and the players in the community. You know, we have a big refugee community here in Utica, and you know, there's a lot of soccer people. There's 6,000, you know, AYSO kids, you know, that are playing in a local, you know, within an hour of Utica. So, you know, I think we tapped into all those resources, and you know, I think we hit a home run to start.
Did they ever hit a home run? Both in terms of fan support and on-field performance. In 2020, before the pandemic shutdown of the season, UCFC was an MASL power, a legitimate threat to win the Ron Newman Cup. After taking a hiatus last season due to COVID-19 restrictions, they're back this year with much of the same nucleus. City dropped its first 2 games of the season, but as general manager Tommy Tanner points out, the team will need some time to find its legs again.
You know, we didn't play for almost 20 months, most of our players. I mean, we had a few, you know, Ben Raymond, who won a championship in San Diego, and, you know, Jake Schindler and Joey Tavernisi, and Slav played a little bit. Nate played in Florida, but for the most part, you know, all our guys didn't play for 20 months. So it was, you know, when you start with Florida, it was a great team, and you go to Baltimore. So it was a tough start, but I think we righted the ship.
City bounced back with wins in its next 2 games, led by the dynamic play of superstar Moises Gonzalez.
Are you not entertained? What else could you ask for? Boy, Gonzalez, red hot.
Well, I mean, Moises is, you know, he arguably has the hardest shot in the league. I think if you saw those, you know, few goals that he scored, and you know, he does it in practice all the time. But he's able to create his own shot, you know, and be able to, you know, the quick release, and you know, he had great uncanny ability to score goals.
Head coach Ryan Hall has an embarrassment of riches throughout the lineup. A potent offense is backed by a stingy defense led by Jake Schindler.
You know, to me, Jake's probably the smartest defender in the league. You know, he understands the game really, really well. And I think every, you know, young player, it's a great person to learn from. He's been fantastic for us.
But the heart and soul of City is veteran Bo Jelovac. The Serbian has been with the organization since its days in Syracuse.
Yeah, I mean, Bo Jelovac, he's one of our captains. You're going to get your all from Bo every game. You know, he's going to bring the intensity, and it's, you know, a leader that we need going forward.
Utica City knows it can't dwell on what might have been if the season hadn't been canceled in 2020. They may have been slow out of the gate this campaign, but Tanner feels the Blues will be in the hunt for the title once again.
That's our goal. Every year is to compete for a championship, and hopefully, if we don't, we will continue to get better. I know we will, and that's our end goal, is to win a championship.
Counterattack, score!
If you get a moment, check out Utica City's YouTube page. They have got some of the most imaginative, hilarious promotional videos around. City in cars getting coffee is one of my personal favorites. Check it out. It's really good stuff. And City was in action last weekend, and it was a difficult encounter with Florida. Down 1-0, Joey Tavernese knocks it in on the doorstep to knot it up 1-1. It was a bit of a bloodbath from that point on. Ricardo Carvalho, a wrecking ball for Florida on this day, makes it 2-1. Taylor Walter Bond crushing that offering. 3-1 Tropics after one. But the score 4-1. Carvalho gets his brace, but trust me when I say the man was far from done. Second half, Ricardo pumps that one home. I'll tell you, Florida is looking like an absolute juggernaut this season. They cruise to the 10-3 win. Carvalho, 4 goals on the day. Okay, top goalies right now for goals against average. Eduardo Cortez leading the way. Boris Pardo, his teammate, in second. Brian Wilkin, Hugo Silva of Florida, and William Van Zella to round out the top 5. Welcome back to Primetime, everyone. Joining me today for a chat is an MASL All-Star who's now in his 5th season with the Harrisburg Heat, and to put it mildly, this is a man who knows how to score goals.
Does by passing to Brame. Brame over to Francis. Francis a shot. He scores! Heck of a rocket for a shot off of the left foot of Francis.
Dominic Francis, the sniper from the Harrisburg Heat, a guy who was originally from across the pond in Huddersfield, England, which we'll get to later on in the show, but he joins me now from Harrisburg. Dominic, how you doing, man? How were the holidays?
It was good. It was good. I think previous seasons we've had a game right around Christmas, so it's kind of nice to have that little break.
Well, Dom, it's been a quiet start for the Heat so far in terms of the fact that you guys have only played 2 games thus far, both against Utica City FC, both losses, unfortunately, but maybe just tell us a bit about how you feel the guys have played so far and some of the positives that you take away from those losses.
I spoke to Coach Pat quite a bit about the first game. We were right there. It was more of a get what we can kind of get from those 2 games. With us having off the next 3 weeks, we have a lot of new guys, so for them to even just experience that it was a good little stepping stone. Even the guys that we brought in, like some of the older guys that we brought in, they haven't been in this system with Pat. So they've played with the Heat before, but it's a completely different system. So they're essentially new to the system. It's good experience, and we're definitely on the right track. It's just going to take time.
Well, Michael Cunningham currently leads the team with 3 goals in 2 games, and he's a new pickup for you guys this year. He previously played with Rochester 2 years ago in the MASL. Just talk about Michael, his performance so far, and what he's meant to the team.
Yeah, Mike's done great. I've known him for a few years. I mean, when he was in Syracuse, I'd known him then. Even before then, when I used to live up in Rochester, so I've known him for quite a while, and I've always been in touch with him. He's doing great. I spoke to him during preseason. I said, "Hey, listen, you're gonna score goals because you're in just a better overall system. There's better players. You're gonna get more of the ball. You're gonna be in better situations." He's enjoying it. He's got a lot of support around. I'll catch him up in goals though.
Well, Dominic, last season was unique, obviously, for so many reasons, but the Heat didn't end up playing last year, so you got loaned to the Kansas City Comets, and you managed to get some games in there during the regular season and the playoffs, and your entire career, you had played up to that point with Harrisburg. So just tell us what it was like to put on that different uniform and play for KC last season.
Obviously, the East Coast teams didn't play. Florida did. So So I was kind of like, am I just going to be off for, 2 years, or can I go play? And then obviously like Brian called me and I couldn't turn that opportunity down. Obviously we got to the semi-final. In my playoff experience, I've only been a handful of games in Harrisburg in the playoffs, so for me to actually be in the playoffs a little bit more and bring that experience back to Harrisburg, I think that was big. But yeah, KC organization was unbelievable. So I tried to take what I could from that. I tried to take what I've learned myself from Pat over there without giving them too much.
Well, finally, Dominic, as I mentioned off the top, you were born and raised in Huddersfield, England, and you played your youth soccer there all the way up through your high school years before attending university in the United States. But I just wondered, did you ever envision yourself playing the arena game, and how did you get introduced to it in the first place?
Somehow I found out about Harrisburg. I'm not sure how I found out about the tryouts, and then I just drove down, and then the rest was history. Tariq actually signed me, so I'm always thankful to Tariq for that opportunity. Yeah, I enjoy the arena game. It is different. I know there's a lot of outdoor players that come into indoor and try it, but we always say within our team, if you have soccer IQ, you should be able to play, and players that are not intelligent enough really do get found out because it's a quicker game. You got to make better decisions. But yeah, I never really thought I was going to play. I really didn't know much about indoor. My contribution's been, I'm pretty happy with where I'm at within indoor.
Well, Dom, unfortunately, that's it, man. We are out of time, but thank you so much for just taking the time to have a chat today, and keep up the great work in Harrisburg, man. Stay healthy, and we'll chat soon.
Yeah, I appreciate you having me. It's always a pleasure. I enjoy watching the show, and I wish you all the best for the rest of the shows in the season. I'll definitely be looking out for them.
Okay, Dallas was looking to keep on rolling in St. Louis last weekend, and Big D is looking good. Gustavo Piedra makes it 1-0 for the Sidekicks. Second quarter, what a signing Jamie Lovegrove is turning out to be. He knocks it home. And 2-0 Dallas. The ambush would hit back. Vadim Kojakov, ever the opportunist, pouncing on the juicy rebound. And St. Louis pulls to within a single goal. In the second half, though, forget about it. Brendan Lee pulls Dallas ahead by 2. And then Sebastian Mendez converts the sweet feed right there from Cameron Brown. And yeah, Dallas on the rampage. They win their second straight as they take this one going away. 8-3, their final score. Welcome back, everybody, to Primetime. Sunday's matchup between Ontario and San Diego just had so many different delicious storylines. First off, the Sockers knocked off the Fury in the finals last season to capture the Ron Newman Cup, and this was the first time they'd faced each other since. Secondly, Frank Taiyu sat just 3 points away from becoming the first player to hit 400 career MASL regular season points. Could he pull that off while helping the Fury to a win? And San Diego was a perfect 2-0 on the season coming into this, and to make it 3, they'd have to contain Frank the King. Early on, though, it was his teammates getting things done.
Of the formation in the corner, Pacheco will get that power play goal with 6 on the clock.
It was only a 1-0 game into the second half, but Justin Stinson stretches the Fury lead to 2. They would make it 3, but then cue the comeback. Leonardo de Oliveira gets the Sockers on the board with the sweet shot, and then Juan Tapete jumps on the turnover and cuts the deficit to a single goal. Some passing perfection then by the gold and blue as they go tic-tac-toe, and Craig Childs, the finish, oh so pretty. This one might have been even better, though.
Tavoy behind him, Uzi scrambles, Tavoy's got it, Charlie's got it, Charlie backdoor score! Brendan Escoto!
The San Diego Storms back to score 6 straight and win it 6-3, and Taiyu held off the score sheet in the process for the first time this year. So here's how they sit him and Gibson in the chase for 400. Frank still 3 points away. Leo 10 points behind now. And here's how next week shapes up for them, Frank. Next game, January 9th, also against San Diego. Again, just 3 points away. He can definitely pull that off. The day before, Gibson facing the Dallas Sidekicks, but with 10 points to get to 400, that is going to be a much tougher task. Okay, the Sidekicks trying to complete a dream week. Could they make it 3 straight wins by downing Milwaukee? The Wave winless on the season. If you can believe it, heading into this one. They go down early. Oscar Romero striking first for Dallas. Back come the Wave. Luan Oliveira knots it up at 1 apiece. Dallas goes on a rampage after that, though. Luis Morales, watch the cheeky little back heel right there. And then Julio Varela off the Milwaukee player and in. Ouch. Dallas up 3-1 at the half. Second half now. Rio Ramirez knocks it into the yawning cage. And then it's Morales getting in on the fun. He bangs in his second tally of the day. Is Dallas the feel-good story of the season? What a turnaround these guys have had in Milwaukee. Ouch. No wins in 5 games to start the year. Here is the evidence. Central Division. Look at that. 0 wins in 5 contests. Kansas City leading with a perfect 5-0 record in the Central. Dallas now 3-3 on the season. Out east, Florida wrecking shop 4-1 on the campaign. Utica 2-3. Baltimore 2-1. Harrisburg hasn't played much so far this year without a win though. West Division, San Diego perfect 3-0. They will face off again, of course, with Ontario again this coming week. Primetime players. Offensive player of the week, Ricardo Carvalho of the Florida Tropics. He was wrecking shop against Utica. Well, really, all of Florida was wrecking shop against Utica, but he was especially on fire. 4 goals in the game for Ricardo. And your defensive player of the week, Juan Gamboa of the Dallas Sidekicks, the keeper. 3 starts last week, 3 wins for Juan. Unbelievable he was. Some great saves as the resurgence of the Sidekicks continues. Plays of the week now.
LSO off the bench. Good to see Luan back in there. Ahead to Bradley. Knocked down. Rebound. Follow. Bennett with a follow. Just missing.
Here's Ruggles at the yellow line. Shot. Goal! Right. Yeah, a 50-foot toe poke. What a play by Drew Ruggles.
Varela slammed it into Pepe. Gets another chance. Slams into the board. Now a juggling act and a goal. Pietra at the...
Step ahead for Andre Hayne. Andre drives it! Shot of the goal!
Welcome back, Andre. What a strike that was.
Big time conversion by Andre Hayne. And look at Andre, he is fired up.
With Tavoy behind him, Uzi scrambles. Tavoy's got it. Charlie's got it. Charlie backdoor score! Brandon Escoto from Charlie Gonzalez.
Lucas Sousa plays it forward to Gibson. Gibson pops it forward to Matt Lewis. Shoots
What
goal!
a ball.
Oh my! What a goal! There is the legend. Leo Gibson to Matty Lou.
And that is going to wrap it up for this week's show. But just a friendly reminder before you go that all throughout the season, you can keep up to date with what's going on in the MASL, all the latest news, statistics, great feature stories as well by checking out all of the league's different social media outlets. Thank you so much for tuning in, folks. Really appreciate it. See you next week.